Hello, I'm Michael Usher and welcome to Spotlight. Locked inside a maximum security jail in Arizona, an Australian mother is in the fight of her life. Along with her husband, Lisa Cunningham was charged with the first-degree murder of her stepdaughter in 2017 and has been behind bars ever since. Tonight, we're giving Lisa her first chance in almost 8 years to speak publicly as she finally prepares to stand trial. Ashley Mullaney reports.
The December 2017 indictment alleges 10 counts of child abuse and the first-degree murder of 7-year-old Sanaa Cunningham.
An Adelaide mother facing the death penalty in the US has appeared briefly in court this morning.
The story of Lisa Cunningham is a nightmare whichever way you look at it.
They came over and said, "We're sorry. We're sorry."
Either the nightmare this Aussie mother allegedly inflicted on her stepdaughter Sanaa,
There are elements of this that I am struggling to understand.
or the nightmare of living inside this maximum security jail for a crime she says she didn't commit.
This is a crazy, dangerous, filthy, insane, disturbing place.
But which Lisa Cunningham story is true?
Did you kill your stepdaughter, Lisa?
My mom was my best friend, and she was my rock. Growing up, I remember being a very deliriously happy child. Even if I do get my family back, I will not let all of this damage just be damage.
So, how many times have you made this trip to Australia?
100 times.
Eric Kessler is Lisa's lawyer. We're on our way to Australia Women's Jail on the outskirts of Phoenix for what will be Lisa's first television interview since being arrested. Astonishingly, Lisa has been in here for 8 years awaiting trial, while the state of Arizona builds a complex case against her.
You hear me okay, Eric?
Okay. I'm going to pass this through the cage to Lisa.
Okay. Hello, Lisa. It's good to see you.
Hi.
How are you holding up?
All right. I don't know, like, it's like a bit nervous. Like, it's always weird to, meet a stranger and talk about, like, the worst thing ever.
Lisa is confined to this 2-metre by 3-metre cell, allowed out only an hour a day, living alongside some of America's worst female killers.
This is reality. This is, I got a girl on the other side of me who, Christmas Day, she killed her 9-year-old and put her in a dumpster.
When you cast your mind back, what was home life like for you before?
Thinking about the kids and the life that Jermaine and I built, it's such an unreal thing. It feels so far away. It feels like it was, 100 years ago, but it wasn't. It was literally like 8 years ago,
What's been the most painful part of it for you?
Oh, her family being split up, the children not being together. It was horrifying.
On Queensland's serene Whitsunday coastline, the town of Bowen is where Lisa had hoped she could send her children to live with her Aussie aunt, Denise Sweet, while she was in prison.
Murder or medical tragedy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
what's going to be the big question on trial, really, isn't it?
Could you have ever imagined that this carefree girl that you watched grow up would be sitting in a prison on the other side of the world?
No, never. Never in a million years. Yeah, it's horrifying. Quite horrible. She's lost everything. She's lost her children, lost her 2 babies, lost her connection with her 2 oldest children.
Love is a fire, burning deep inside my soul, takes me higher.
Lisa met her first husband, American Air Serviceman Russell Anderson, in Townsville.
We're going to keep this video.
After a number of military postings, they moved to the US with their 2 children, Javian and Sierra.
All she ever wanted to be was the best possible mom that she could physically manage for us.
A few years later, Lisa and Russell divorced, and soon Lisa met a detective with the Phoenix Police, Jermaine Cunningham. Jermaine brought his 2 daughters to the blended family, 3-year-old Sanaa and her older sister.
What was your earliest memory of Sanaa?
I remember sitting on the floor of my mom's apartment, and she was showing me a new Barbie that she had gotten. I believe she was 3 at the time, so she was just a baby, just trying to figure it out.
Lisa and Jermaine then welcomed Eva and Gabriel.
These kids came together and made a family that, nature would never have made. You don't know, I walk into a grocery store and I've got 6 children and they're all different colours, and you can imagine what people think of me when I'm walking down the dairy aisle and I've got 6 kids and they're all different shades. But, we don't care.
Wow, that is amazing.
Just as their family seemed complete, Sanaa began showing signs that something wasn't quite right.
Do you remember her behaviour changing at some point?
I remember when we were all kind of starting to realize that she's missing milestones, and life just seemed to be getting trickier.
The bright and bubbly 3-year-old who loved playing with Barbie was now 6, increasingly shadowed by dark thoughts and moods, and it was getting worse.
When did you notice that something was quite seriously wrong with Sanaa?
When she started eating things she wasn't supposed to.
Sanaa was suffering from pica, a mental health condition that caused her to compulsively swallow non-food items.
We had this big, noisy, amazing family, and these kids were great. The sad thing was that this one thing happened that nobody really knew how to fix. Nobody knew how to make it better for her.
Watching my sister struggle was probably the most painful thing that I've ever witnessed. No matter what my parents or doctors tried, it wasn't helping. And all I would think about is the 3-year-old girl that I sat on the floor playing dolls with, and wondering where she went.
By March 2016, 11 months before Sanaa's death, Lisa claimed Sanaa was a risk to herself and her siblings.
Was she self-harming?
Yes. And I still have nightmares. about the things she would do.
She did try to hurt her little sister. She tried to hit her over the head with a rock. And, you know, my knee-jerk reaction was, what happened? What were you fighting about? And she said, I wanted to kill her.
Lisa says she and Jermaine tried everything to get professional help for Sanaa, until finally they found a psychologist who delivered a shocking diagnosis.
She said, you know, this is very serious, and I believe she's schizophrenic, and I want you to find a child psychiatrist because I think she needs antipsychotic medication.
That psychiatrist was Dr. Zeropoulos, who prescribed Sanaa a powerful antipsychotic drug called Risperdal. A drug not recommended for children under the age of 13. Its known side effects include aggression, allergic reactions and itching, as well as symptoms of pneumonia.
After about a week of her being on it, we started to research it online, and that's when I said, this drug's not even supposed to be given to anybody unless they're 13.
Over the next few weeks, Sanaa experienced what Lisa believed were side effects of the drug. On Friday, February 10, 2017, she called Dr. Zeropoulos.
I called and I said, I know that cold and flu symptoms are associated with this drug, so what do you think we should do? And I was told he would call me back.
But that call never came. By the following days, Sanaa's symptoms were getting worse. Jermaine rushed home, and he and Lisa took Sanaa to an emergency ward. Sanaa's symptoms worsening, she was medevaced to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Then the unthinkable happened.
They came over and asked us if we would agree to them intubating her airway to protect it. And we said yes, and I think Jermaine signed something. And they did that, and it was put in incorrectly. And they came over and they said, you know, it's in a little deep. So we got to pull it back out again and put it back in again. And when they did that, her heart stopped. And they did CPR for about 12 minutes. And then they came over and said, we're sorry. We're sorry. And Jermaine and I were just, what do you mean? You know, what do you mean you're sorry? Now what? So what are we doing now? And they said, well, you know, I'm sorry, she's gone.
Whether the intubation or Sanaa's critical condition contributed to her death would never be established. But she was gone.
I just remember just howling, or I just remember howling, and it was like hearing a wild animal, and then you realize, oh, that's us making those noises. Like it was just that fast. It felt like it was just moments.
It was at her funeral that it really kind of sank in that my sister was gone.
What sort of hole did that leave in your life?
One that still has yet to be filled.
What you got there?
But within days, Arizona police would paint a far darker picture of Sanaa's life and death. They had Lisa and Jermaine in their sights for murder.
Up next, the confronting text messages.
I never restrained or zip-tied or handcuffed Handcuffs don't fit 6-year-olds.
That police say prove this Aussie mum is a liar.
Did you love Sanaa?
I loved them all. Loved her to death.
We've conducted a series of interviews from the jail where Australian mother Lisa Cunningham has been locked away for nearly 8 years. She's on trial for the murder of her 7-year-old stepdaughter, Sanaa.
So reading through the autopsy report, it said that there were scars on at least 60 locations on Sanaa's body, more than 100 cuts and bruises, head to toe.
Yeah.
How did she receive those injuries?
Sanaa didn't receive any injuries. Sanaa was diagnosed with self-injury. How dare you or anybody else get to shame parents because they have a child that self-harms?
It was a wound on Sanaa's right foot that prompted an attending doctor to report her death as suspicious.
There are elements of this that I am struggling to understand here. Sanaa died with this septic wound on her foot. It was 1 inch wide down to the bone, according to the medical reports, and it had been there for months.
Well, she didn't have 1 inch wide gash to the bone on her foot. What happened was she was roller skating in the house and she caught her foot on the top of the weather strip of the patio door. Sanaa kept picking it. It healed and she kept picking it because it was a symptom of what was going on with her. This wasn't a festering wound. If this happened in November, you don't have a festering wound that kills you in February and go and see 3 different doctors and have your vitals checked with a normal temperature, normal heart rate, normal everything 3 weeks before you died if you're dying from sepsis.
Inside this ordinary suburban home, the Cunninghams were living anything but an ordinary life by late 2016. Lisa says her stepdaughter's mental health was rapidly declining. Prosecutors say Sanaa was suffering at the hands of 2 neglectful parents who kept her confined to a laundry, often in a makeshift straitjacket. Wherever the truth lies here, one thing is certain. This was a little girl who spent the final few months of her life living in torment.
It's always been such a mystery to us why it is easier to believe that we tried to slowly kill her with this bizarre delayed death, torture story than it is to simply accept the fact that she entered into the early onset period of serious mental illness. Why is it so hard to believe that?
Prosecutors are saying they learnt that you and Jermaine had used police-issued rip restraints, zip ties and handcuffs to restrain Sanaa. Did that ever happen?
No.
So it will be your word against theirs.
I never restrained or zip-tied or handcuffed. You can't handcuff a 6-year-old. Handcuffs don't fit 6-year-olds. You don't need a degree to figure that out.
So you're saying there'll be no physical evidence that Sanaa has been restrained?
There's no physical evidence that I ever restrained Sanaa. Absolutely, absolutely not.
But will there be any evidence that she was restrained by somebody?
The state have a message.
Multiple messages, in fact, texts between Lisa and Jermaine that had been deleted from her phone.
I have her standing with her hands behind her back, wrapped up in a headband, and she's still trying to act a fool.
I don't want her to sleep with her hands behind her back. Some people can die like that.
These messages, sent the night before Sanaa's death, would appear to be damning.
I'm not having her groaning and screaming, keeping everyone up playing her bullshit. She will be alive when you get here.
Lisa says the texts only prove she and Jermaine were exhausted, at their wits' end caring for Sanaa with no help.
If you look at our lives from a distance and you go through our messages and the way we communicated with each other, you're going to form your own opinions. No detective, no one ever came in and said, I went through your phone and this is what I found. And can you explain that to me? And now I have to go to trial, not for my life, but I still have to go to trial for the rest of my life based on the interpretation of strangers of my communications with my husband.
Sanaa's death brought immediate action from child safety authorities. Lisa was now deemed an unacceptable risk to her youngest children, Eva and Gabriel.
Say bye.
And they were taken into the state's custody.
What you got there?
Her contact with them was reduced to these short, supervised visits.
It was like a bomb went off. Now they're all gone, and how are we ever going to put this back together?
She's from where Mommy's from, Australia.
I don't think anyone would voluntarily surrender their parental rights, believing they're innocent and believing that they're going to win their case. I don't think anybody would do that logically, but I had no choice.
Are you going to tell me about it?
The trauma for me was monumental. It changed me forever.
What happened?
Now all of them are gone.
In Phoenix, child safety worker Tammy Swain was told to observe Lisa during her visits with her children.
As someone who first got to know Lisa in your professional capacity, what impact did this have on her and on her family?
Devastating. I've witnessed this lady not even be able to get out of bed, just crying in deep, agonizing tears for her kids, her family. To have your children just ripped away from you like that was devastating.
Tammy had been told her observations could help police build their murder case against Lisa. Instead, she became convinced of her innocence.
I believe that no murder has taken place in this case at all.
Lisa has always maintained that she and Jermaine tried everything they could to find medical and psychological help for Sanaa. That instead, it was the Arizona health system that failed their daughter.
Do you think she should be held accountable in any way for Sanaa's death?
I don't believe that she did anything inappropriate. I think the medical community failed, certainly Lisa, but most of all Sanaa. She was not given the opportunity to live.
3 of the 11 charges Lisa is facing at her murder trial relate to failure to seek timely and adequate medical care.
If this, whatever was going on, had been appropriately diagnosed and treated, the first time we took her in, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, we went in 6 times. And the very last report was 3 weeks before she died. And he brushed her off and said, she's fine. How can you charge me with failing to put her in a treatment facility if the doctor that was treating her when she died said she didn't need to go to a treatment facility? The hell is wrong with you? How does it get that backwards?
It's an uncomfortable truth that prosecutors still don't know exactly what killed Sanaa.
So then how do you believe she died?
I think she died because of the Risperdal.
The antipsychotic medication?
Absolutely. Risperdal kills people all the time.
Risperdal has been linked to deaths in Australia and America. and according to the label, should not be prescribed to children under 13. We sought the opinion of the doctor who did, John Zaropoulos, living in this upmarket, gated community on the outskirts of Phoenix.
Hi, is that Mr. Zaharopoulos?
Despite Lisa calling the doctor's office in the days before Sanaa's death, Lisa's defence team has accused his office of failing to keep a record of these calls.
Well, it sounds like Mr. Zaharopoulos is home but doesn't want to take our call today. We've come to this gated community in Arizona to speak to him about what he knew about Sanaa's condition in the weeks before her death. No doubt he'll prove a crucial witness in this case.
Dr. Zaropoulos isn't facing any charges.
Up next, Lisa's greatest fear, the fate that awaits her if she's found guilty.
When you're in a situation where a foreign government is actually actively trying to kill you, it is a constant state of fight or flight.
And her mission to send her children back to Australia.
You know, I'm Australian, I'm true blue.
When Eric Kessler first became Lisa's defence attorney in 2017, it was a death penalty case, his 30th. The death penalty was only dropped last February.
Trials are unbelievably stressful.
But Eric says what this Australian mother still faces is almost as terrible.
Even with the death penalty dropped now, what's at stake here?
Well, first-degree murder, there are only two possible outcomes: death penalty or what we call natural life. And the only way you're getting out is in a pine box. Now she's facing death of a different kind.
So if Lisa is found guilty, she will die in prison?
Yes.
What you got there?
If she's found guilty, this is the fate that awaits Lisa. Perryville Women's Prison is home to thousands of the state's worst female offenders. Here in the exercise yard, the sun is unrelenting, 45 degrees today. It's a hellhole. Even if she's not on death row, Lisa faces a slow death behind bars, because here in Arizona, a life sentence means life. For prosecutors, that's a fit punishment for the crime that Lisa and her husband Jermaine are charged with: taking the life of a 7-year-old girl. A crime Sierra will never believe her mother could commit.
The night before the arraignment, she said, "No matter what, I will always find my way back to you. And I'm going to hold her to it."
Were you scared that day?
Yeah. Because it felt like the last piece of the world that I knew crossed someone's desk and they decided to take it.
When the state of Arizona arraigned Lisa for murder, they didn't only seek to put her in jail and eventually to death, they sought to entirely wipe her family from her existence.
No, sometimes I feel like I'll wake up in my room and my mom will be making breakfast for us downstairs. Or my baby sister Eva will just be in the next room waiting for me to wake up to go see her. And that world is completely gone.
Eva, you go get those shoes upstairs.
Lisa's youngest children, Eva and Gabriel, have lost the most since their sister Sanaa died. Desperate to provide them with something of a normal childhood, Lisa wrote prison letters to her Australian aunt, Denise Sweet.
They had to be snuck out the prison.
Hoping they might have the same Australian upbringing she had.
She says, "The state of Arizona is putting my children up for adoption. This is my fight. I have family willing to take them in Australia."
Yep.
They were moved 7 times in 2 years. Still, my family was ignored.
She was forced to give them up.
They're all separated, they're all scattered. And Eva and Gabriel are the ones who caught the worst of it. They were put into the system. They were in 7 different foster placements. They were injured in foster placement and had to be removed. They were put into a group home with 150 other children for a couple of months. And I didn't know what else to do.
Hopeful she could at least keep her children with their family, Lisa asked Sierra to take custody of Eva and Gabriel. An effort supported by their child safety supervisor, Tammy Swain. But the department seemed intent on splitting the family apart.
She was over 21 years old. She wanted to have custody of her siblings by her parents if they went to jail. We were hoping at the time that she could temporarily step in and raise the babies until then. I wrote a letter. They called me and said it was inappropriate. They wanted me to show up. I said, not without my attorney. They said I didn't need one. I said, yes, I do. And so I resigned.
So you've really gone into bat for this family.
Exactly. I'm just logical, and I'm compassionate, and I'm trying to understand how this system can break people and these children. And then I try to give them advice, or I try to give them encouragement.
Is this Sierra's birthday? Uh-huh. Ask her. Say, Sierra, is it your birthday?
It's your birthday? Mm-mm.
Sierra did all she could to take custody of her siblings. Now she only has a handful of videos to remember them by.
What would you put on if I walk away?
Covered.
Wrong.
Covered.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to ask Javian to change it? Eva, total drama action is for big kids.
You're big kids.
Are you a big kid?
I'm not a big kid.
No, you're just a small kid. So you need to watch a small kid show.
It must have been chaos, but fun chaos, I imagine.
I wouldn't trade it for the world, honestly.
In the chaos following Lisa's arraignment, as well as losing contact with her siblings, Sierra was mistakenly told she was no longer allowed to see her mother.
Just seeing that she's there and that she's okay would mean the world to me.
Yeah. What do you think it would mean to her?
I think it would give her that last stint of energy to get through this.
Up next, after 8 years apart, the mother-daughter reunion both thought was impossible.
Hi, Mom.
You're all grown up, look at you.
Yeah.
As Lisa finally prepares to stand trial.
In the 8 years Lisa Cunningham has spent waiting to go on trial for the murder of her stepdaughter, Sierra has believed she was banned from visiting her. But in the hundreds of court orders in Lisa's case, her lawyer, Eric Kessler, says he can't find one that prevents Sierra from seeing her mother. So, on the eve of Lisa's trial, what has seemed an impossibility for almost a decade became a reality.
Sierra's with us here today, and she's very much looking forward to speaking to you. I know this has been a long time coming, so do you want to join us, Sarah?
Oh my gosh, she's actually there.
Hi, Mom.
Look at my baby. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're all grown up. Look at you. Yeah. You still look like my baby, but look at you. My goodness. What is going on?
A lot. A lot's going on.
Look at you. I can't believe it.
The last time Lisa got to see her daughter, she could have never imagined they'd be separated for this long.
I'm kind of in shock. I'm kind of in shock, but...
Well, I'm pleased to say that all of your babies look just as fabulous as I do.
How are you both? I don't even know. How are you both? What's going on?
Jay's grown up to be an amazing person. He's doing great. He's gone into law enforcement. He's one of the highest ranking people where he is now and one of the youngest. So he's freaking killing it.
Crazy. What about me? Do I look completely different after all this time? Do I look the same?
You still look like my mom.
As sweet as this reunion may be, the next time they'll see each other will be across a courtroom. Sierra as a witness, Lisa as a murder defendant.
Did you kill your stepdaughter, Lisa?
Nobody killed Sanaa. It's an unfair question. It was easier to turn me into a monster than it was to believe that a child could be mentally ill and experience what she experienced because of the medication.
I guess the walls inside that house can't talk, but you can, and you are perhaps the most important witness in this case, Sarah. Is there any truth to the allegations made against your mother?
My mom didn't kill my sister.
A date for the murder trial of Lisa Cunningham and her husband Jermaine has now been set. It will be early next month, and we will let you know what happens.